still need for 40.
Okay. So I am a number. Tell my identity. So let's say that that number is X. Okay. They are saying that take me 7 times over. That means 7x, 7 times, right? 7 times means 7x. And
then
add
we
a
add
50.
50 and 40.
50. So now they're saying that to reach a triple century, if you want this to be equal to, triple century means 300, right? If you want this to be equal to 300, then you still need a 40 in this. Okay. So that means your left hand side becomes 7x plus 90. And then right hand side becomes 300. So what does x become?
Why do we need?
Yeah.
Why do we need to write 40 like that?
I didn't understand. Can you speak up a little bit?
Why did we write 40 like that?
Oh no. That I just wrote it like that because I didn't have space over here. You can write it in the same thing as well. I just didn't have space. That's why I wrote it like that. There you go. Is that better? Okay.
Yes.
So 7x is equal to how much? 210, right? Because 300 minus 90 will become 210. So x will be equal to how much?
30.
What's 210 divided by 7? 30, yes. So that's equal to 30. Got it? Clear, Hiba?
Yes.
Okay. So,
and also the third
one sec, Hiba, just a minute. Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Let me go and just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. Yes, Hiba, which question?
Exercise 4.4, third question, the third part.
Exercise 4.4, third question, third part.
Yes.
Maya, Madhura, and Mohsina are friends, studying in the same class. In a class test. Sorry.
I think we have different questions.
Can you do one thing? Can you you can share with me a picture of the question, okay, on WhatsApp, or you can show me your textbook, the question on your textbook right now, or what you can do is just read out the question, okay? Just read out the question. People of Sundargram planted a total of 102 trees in the village garden, right? That one?
Yeah.
Okay. So they planted a total of 102 trees. Some of the trees were fruit trees, and some of them were non-fruit trees. Okay. Can you give me some examples of fruit trees, Hiba?
Yeah, like apple tree.
Huh? You have to speak a little louder. I'm not able to hear you very clearly. I mean, increase my volume. My volume is increased only. Huh. And apple and oranges, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Non-fruit trees, can you give me some examples? Yeah. Sorry. See, you have neem tree. Okay. One sec. You have neem tree, you have oak tree, and so on. Ever heard of these? Anyway, so some of the trees were fruit trees. Now what they're saying, the number of non-fruit trees were 2 more than 3 times the number of fruit trees. So let's say that if the number of fruit trees, was X, okay, if the number of fruit trees was X, then the number of non-fruit trees will be how much? Can you tell that from looking at the question? Yes, Hiba, read out the statement.
The number of non-fruit trees were 2 more than 3 times the number of fruit trees.
Yeah, 2 more than 3 times the number of fruit trees. Number of fruit trees is X. So have I written this correctly? Any mistake, any problem?
No.
No. Now what will we do? We know that there is a total of 102 trees. So how can we go about this?
Can you say it again?
Yeah. So we know that the number of fruit trees is X. The number of non-fruit trees is 2 plus 3x. And we know that the total number of trees is 102. So can we make a link somewhere to find out like what do we do next?
-2 and
Why
-2.
-2? See, you know, okay, first tell me how, if you say that total number of trees, or yeah, total number of trees is equal to what? It's equal to number of fruit trees plus number of non-fruit trees. Yes or no?
Yes.
Understood, Heba, till here?
Yes.
Okay. Now just quickly tell me what is the total number of trees?
102.
102. What is the number of fruit trees?
X.
X. And what is the number of non-fruit trees?
2 plus 3x.
2 plus 3x. Excellent. So now what is 3x plus x? You have 3 of some object and then plus you have 3 something, then you have 1 something. What is, when you add them, how much does it become?
4x.
Yes. 4x plus what is remaining?
4x plus 2 is equal
4x
to
plus 2. Very good. So 102 is equal to 4x plus 2. So I'm going to open a new page now. So 102, or we can say that 4x plus 2 is equal to 102, right? Now
Yes.
you can solve it easily. You can solve for x.
Yes.
Yeah.
4x minus 2. So it's 4x is equal to 100.
Very good. Then
Then we will divide it.
right. Then x becomes what?
Wait a minute. x is equal to 25.
Very good. X is equal to 25. Now, Hiba, just remember this, that this 25 and 4, no, they are both best friends. Okay, fine. Why? Because 25 multiplied by 4 gives you 100. Okay, so just need to remember a few combinations that you will see very often that will give you 100. Okay, when you multiply them, like 20 multiplied by 5 will give you 100. Okay, so 20 multiplied by 5. 25 multiplied by 4. Just a minute. Okay. Similarly, well, you have a lot more, but these are the ones that we see very often. Okay, so remember these. Fine. So, do you want to note this down?
Yes, in 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, completed.
Done. Okay. Any other doubts in the exercise, Hiba?
No.
No? Okay. So, Hiba, first of all, there's so we have completed the chapter, so there's going to be a test, okay, of this chapter in the next class, which is on Friday. Okay. Acha, Hiba, your school is starting from 4th September or 1st?
It is starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for this chapter, okay, first tell me, do you want a test for this chapter or for some other chapters? Let's have a test for the other chapters because, okay, yeah, what chapters are coming in your unit test?
They still haven't given us the portion.
I can't hear you clearly.
They
What?
still haven't given us the portion for the next exam.
Yeah, so the next exam that you're going to have is going to be a maths unit test or the maths half yearly exam.
Half yearly.
You're going to have the half yearly. So unit test is over.
Yes.
Yeah, right. I remember. Unit test is over. In that you had data handling and the first two chapters, right?
Yes.
And the 15th chapter,
The,
visualizing solid shapes.
yeah.
Okay. So now you're going to have the half yearly, and that's going to be in the end of September.
Yes, I think.
Okay. So Hiba, please, as soon as you get the syllabus, please forward it to me on WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that I can prepare a test for you accordingly. And okay. So that's it for this lesson. Any other doubts in this chapter?
And no.
No? Fine. Okay. So actually the thing is I wanted to know which chapters you will be having in your exam so that we could go accordingly, right? So in your school, what all chapters have they completed? Integers, fractions and decimals, data handling, visualizing solid shapes. Any other chapters that they have completed in your school?
No, only this chapter.
That's it, right? Okay. Do you want to revise the previous chapters or do you want to go forward?
We can go forward.
Okay. All right. So which chapter should we do now, Hiba? It's up to you. Whichever you like the most. Uh, I think they are going to either have um, lines and angles they will have for your half yearly. Let me guess.
Right.
Okay. So we have done simple equations. Uh, just a second. Let me think.
We can revise the other chapter because for lines and angles, I would need the compass and I don't have it right now.
Okay.
We can revise this chapter.
Okay. All right.
Can you give me a test like of this chapter, the fourth one
Which chapter?
right now?
The fourth chapter.
Yeah, right
Simple
now.
equations. Right
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Let's go for it. That's a very good idea. Or do you want a test from all the chapters that we have completed till now? Let's have a test from all chapters. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Fine. Okay. So take a notebook and I know you have a notebook or a pen. Wait. Let me search for some nice questions. Okay. Fine. Okay. I'm typing it down on the board. Please copy it. This is your first question. Okay. Are you noting down the questions also, or are you just writing the answers?
Questions first.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
I'm writing the questions first. Then
Okay, 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 okay.
what does the third question mean?
Sorry, Hima, what did you say?
What does the third question mean?
It means you have to show it using diagrams. Represent pictorially, right? So for example, how would you represent, let's say 1 by 4 pictorially? You would represent it, let's say you have a circle. You can have a square also. I think let's have a square, that makes it easier. Or no, let's have a circle. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so you have 4 divisions. So this, you shade one part. This is equal to 1 by 4. This is called representing 1 by 4 pictorially. So if you have to represent 2 by 5, then you will uh, you will divide the circle into 5 equal parts. Okay,
And then multiply 2 and 2. So
how will you multiply it by 2? I'll tell you what to do. You first draw a 2 by 5 like that circle. Okay,
and then you write 2
then
by
draw
1.
another 2 by 5. You draw another 2 by 5. Okay, why? Because 2 multiplied by 2 by 5 means 2 2 by 5 plus 2 by 5. So that's 2 by 5 two times, right? 2 by 5 is going to be 2 times. So you have to do that, and then you have to show the answer also. You have to show the answer. So it will be basically 2 circles like this is equal to 1 more circle. Okay.
For the second question, how much is the total marks for like the whole test?
How much is the total marks of the question
Yeah,
for that test?
yeah.
Okay. Containing 15 questions, 4 marks again for every. So in the question it hasn't been mentioned how many what is the like how many marks is the test for? It's not mentioned.
I think it's 36.
See, you're asking what is the total. No, it won't be 36 because it's 15. The test has 15 questions, right? The test has 15 questions. If you have one right answer, you get 4 marks. So if a person, so what is the maximum marks of the test? If a person gets all of them right, then the person will get 15 multiplied by 4, and that is how much? 60, right? So the total test is of 16 marks, 60 marks. Understood? Oh no. Hmm?
Okay, I understood now. 1 by 5 is 0.2.
1 by 5?
1 by 5 is 0.2.
Yes.
And 2 by 5.
What will be 2 by 5? If 1 by 5 is 0.2, then 2 by 5 is double of 1 by 5, right? So it will be double of 0.2. What will be the double
0.4.
of 0.2? Yes, 0.4.
So there are 40 students, but if we add them, it will be 60. If we add 0.2 and 0.4.
It's saying 1 by 5 of the total number of students. So 1 by 5 of 40. What is 1 by 5 of 40? Are you getting it?
No.
Okay. What are you not understanding in this? Uh, okay. First tell me, what are you trying to do in this question?
We are trying to find what fraction of the total number of students like to study science, and how many students like to study English. And that's it. But for the first and second question, we can just write 1 by 5 and 2 by 5, right?
1 by 5 what?
For the first and second question, we can just write 1 by 5 and 2 by 5.
No. Why? Because, Hiba, pay attention here. It's saying, uh, 1 by 5 of the total number of students. What is the total number of students?
40.
40. So 1 by 5, 1 by 5th fraction, 1/5 of the class. If let's say the class consists of these many students, okay, then only 1/5 of them likes to study English. So we know the fraction, we know that 1/5 of them like to study English, but we don't know how many there are exactly. There are total 40 students. So what is 1/5 of 40? That is what we need to know. That is what we need to find out. Oh no, sorry. Fine.
Yes.
So 1/5 of 40. Similarly, 2/5 of 40. Are you getting it now, Hiba?
I didn't understand the fifth question.
Which question? Fifth. Okay. One sec. Yeah. So what is the
Is-
fifth question asking you? Huh?
Is K3
You're asking me. Okay. Find the value of 9k. Yeah, k is 3. So now you can find the value of 9k minus 50.
yeah.
Good. Oh no, I totally forgot. Hiba, it's Maghrib time at my place. So you just solve the test and I'll pray Maghrib, okay?
Can I also go pray, sir?
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I completed.
Yes?
I completed.
Okay, done. Fine. So now you need to find out how many students like to study English. So how much is 1/5 of 40? How do you do this? The simple trick is, what does off mean? Off means multiplication.
Multiply.
Yes, off means multiplication. So what is 1/5 multiplied by 40?
40 by 5.
Yes, 40/5 is
Uh, um,
8. So 8 students like to study
English.
English. Okay, 8 students like to study English. Fine. How many students like to study
Yes.
maths? What is 2/5 multiplied by what is 2/5 multiplied by 40?
16 by 5.
No, not 16/5.
Sorry, just 16.
Just 16. Very good. So 16 students like to study maths. And so 2/5 likes to study science. So this is also 2/5. So it's going to be the same number. How many students like to study science?
16.
16 students like to study science. Do one thing, add these three, add 8, 16 and 16 and tell me whether the total is coming out to be 40 or not.
It is coming as 40.
Very good. So that means your division, your solution is right. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So any other doubts? in the questions?
No.
No doubts? Fine. So we will discuss